Hey guys, barcode pairs coming to you again with another interesting. So I'm coming to you again with another interesting interruptions. Anyway, barcode pairs coming to you again with another interesting live-action deck profile of decks I actually use. This one will be on Final Countdown because it's the final countdown. So moving on, I'm going to explain the deck at first. I know you may say, oh, it's just Countdown. There's not much to explain apart from Countdown. That's true, but Countdown isn't a consistent deck. Here's the thing people don't realize. People think, oh, if I just run a deck which is Final Countdown and just have some store cards, I'll be fine. No, you've got to have the essence of draw and consistency. And this is where my Countdown deck differs from others. I took a little bit of inspiration from Pro Winston's, his Exodia deck, in a sense of the Hope for Escapes and stuff like that. Because I thought if I'm going to do a draw engine, I'll feel more comfortable doing a trap draw engine than I will a magic one. And the draw engines aren't that good, essentially, for these kinds of decks. Some people use Morphing Jar. I think Morphing Jar is a bad idea, purely because of the factor of, you don't need Morphing Jar to have a full hand, and I kind of proved that with this deck. The whole essence with this deck is that you never have less than 4 cards in your hand, and if you do, it's only because you've set draw engine, and then you plus off it, so it doesn't matter. So without further ado, I'm going to get on with this deck profile. We are back at my crotch, so let's go on with the deck profile. We have 2 Matean. I just want to say this now, I am sorry for those who were waiting for this profile. Because of these 2 cards, I couldn't upload, because I'm kind of a perfectionist like that. I like to have every card before I upload a live action deck profile. Now, the guy didn't pay his fucking custom charges, and I ordered this when I did my Evil Swarm deck profile, and I figured, oh, I'll come 2 days afterwards, so after I do the Dark World profile, it won't really matter. No, these come now, and it's done, finally. So, interruptions again. So yeah, 2 Matean. Then we have free card D, because card D is boss and it's budget now. If someone complains saying they can't get a card D, you are poor. Then we have the free Battle Fader and the free Swiss Gecko. The monster count is 11, and that's all you really need. You really don't need a lot of monsters in this deck. You only need the free Swiss Gecko, the free Battle Fader as the store. Then you need the free card D for the fucking draw engine, and then you have the Matean just to get rid of problems. Matean is a boss of a card. This guy gets past mostly everything apart from Armades, and Armades is the one thing that gives this deck a little bit of trouble. So 11 monsters. Now we have free Final Countdown. I love Final Countdown because it has a scary face. That's why. Now, but the reason I love Countdown decks in general is because I think they're the trolliest decks ever. And the good thing about Countdown, this format, is there's not much that counters it. Top tier decks are not prepared for a Countdown deck, which is why I'm taking this fucker to a regionals. Because I know I may not do well, but I've always got nationals to try at. So I figured at regionals I'm going to troll some people, and if I actually do well at their regionals and go top 8, I'm just going to laugh at people's faces and be like, I don't care if I'm scrub by tops. So yeah, free Countdown, free Upstart Goblin for the extra draw, free Pot of Duality for the extra search, the 1 gold Sark to search, the 1 gold Sark to search for the 1 day apiece. You can use Sark to search for Countdown, but I prefer using it for the 1 day apiece purely because, you know, when you get this to your hand, you pretty much win. Like as much as we used to run free, this, like, on turn 19 is just an assured game, or even on turn fucking 17 you can assure yourself a game because you get an extra draw and an extra turn. So either way, this is something you want to save for the game situation because there's not much they can really do to stop this apart from Dark Bribe it. So that's the awesome thing about it, it's hard to stop. Then we have free Threatening Roar, free Barbecue as the staple stall, 2 Thunder of Ruler, and 2 Frozen Soul. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, oh yeah, the Thunder of Ruler and Frozen Soul play is so broken. There's nothing broke about it. Thunder of Ruler isn't broken, essentially. I mean, yeah, it makes it so that this card can, you know, skip over to the next turn, but Isn't that what you do with like threatening roar? Then you set a Wabaku the next turn, then you set another Wabaku the next turn, then you set another one, and then a Thunder of Roller, and then a Thunder of Roller, and then you have this. It's the same fucking thing. Like, but the good thing about Frozen Soul is purely because of the factor of it skips their turn. It skips their battle phase. In order to skip a battle phase, you have to enter a battle phase. If they do not enter their battle phase, this skips over to the next turn. Some people don't know that. And I love telling them it when they don't enter their battle phase. So pretty much, if you're going up against someone at regionals and they just end turn as soon as they like, oh yeah, you got Frozen Soul up, I'm just going to end. I'll just be like, okay, so it skips over to the next turn. Then they're like, well, what? And it's like, yeah. And they're like, judge? And it's like, yeah, this skips over to the next turn. If you don't enter the battle phase, that's your problem. And it was just like, so sweet, I just gained 2 turns out of your sheer stupidity. And now we're going on to the draw engine part. We've got the 2 Hope for Escapes. Hope for Escape is awesome. I'm not going to run gift cards in this because it's fucking pointless. I mean, yeah, we want draw, but I don't want to fucking deck out. This gives us enough draw off itself. And that's what I meant by the kind of, you know, whole inspiration of Pro Winston with the whole free Jar of Greed, free Reckless Greed. But this card, you know, you plus off it just after first turn countdown, so, and you can afford to take some damage, but without that in the picture, the Reckless Greeds are awesome. If you play Reckless Greed at like, I don't know, turn 10, and you set 2 off, or even 3, or even 1, you still are doing well. That means you've got fucking, you're bound to have 6 cards at the end of it anyway, because you don't do that much with your hand. And they're obviously all going to be a part of a stall, or they're going to be a draw engine or a search engine. So it doesn't really matter. So Reckless Greed just does not affect the deck whatsoever. I don't run Reckless Greed in Dark Worlds because it's very and it scares me sometimes how I draw complete spells. And it's annoying as dicks. But the Reckless Greeds are good. And Jar of Greed, you may say, oh yeah, but it's just 1 draw. So what? 1 draw changes everything. Like, you'd be surprised. But anyway, that is the deck profile, guys. No extra deck, because it's pointless. If you say, oh yeah, I'm going to bring an extra deck in case I can fool anyone, I'll tell you this now. As soon as you play Countdown, you're all figured out. There is no holding back. As soon as you play Countdown, everyone knows that you're a scrub. So there's no point hiding it. Anyway, Barcode Pairs. Yeah. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that this is good and how you rarely ever have less cards in your hand, but that's only because they're stupid and they don't realize that they set their whole hand. With this deck, you have to play conservatively. You have to save things for a reason. You can afford to take damage in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, because there's not many decks out there that can have an assured OTK. A lot of people are going to disagree with me, but the fact is, I can survive 1 turn against dragons, and I know I can, even on 6,000 life points. And the dragon decks are a lot bearable now than they used to be. And also, fuck yourselves for thinking about Karakuri. I know Karakuri would piss this deck about with fucking Naturia Beast first turn, but still, that's why we have the Matean. Anyway, Barcode Pairs, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Get back to you guys with another deck profile, and the next deck profile you will see will be of my favorite, but the deck I insulted the most, Fire King. Now, I know I said I insulted this deck a lot, but I'm just going to justify myself. I insulted it purely because of the fucking hype this shit got. This shit got the same hype Bujin got. Bujins are getting too much support, and Konami is going to whore them out, but I don't give a fuck, because I think Bujin is a waste of time. And it's for fucking people who like Dino Rabbit and shit like that. Anyway, Barcode Pairs, leave a like, comment, and please subscribe, and I'll get back to you with some more videos. Have a good day, guys.